covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
COVID-19 tips sponsored by Dex Soap. 1. Practice social distancing. 2. Wear your mask when leaving the house. 3. Wash your hands regularly for 20 seconds using our Dex Soap. 4. Cover your nose and mouth with a disposable tissue or flex elbow when you cough or sneeze. Choose Dex Soap for that extra cleanliness. Dex Soap is affordable and available nationwide.
Gildarie, and welcome to this edition of Wake Up Guyana. And if you're now joining us, I'm in our studio down here at Saffron Street, Georgetown. And it is a very strange week. I have no co-host. It's a brand new week. I took a couple of days off, so I'm a little out of it. But I want to say welcome back again. We are going to, as we increase the number of days, as we go to the number of days, we are going to bring you it bigger and better. And I hope that you hear me very clear. I've been given clear instructions to ensure that I mask up. And that is because we are in very strange times. Strange for me because in the studio here, we are going by the protocols that has been established to remain safe. And we want to say that you have to remain safe too. We want to remind you that 2 days back, we were informed that two of our staff is here, good colleagues of mine at Kaieteur News, Kaieteur Radio, would have tested positive for COVID. And it's a very stark reminder, very harsh to the truth that this thing here does not have special persons that you go to. As long as you're out there, you don't protect yourself. It is there. It's a very real reality that we are dealing with at the moment. So I want to say welcome once again to this Wake Up Edition show. I am going it alone today, so we will try to open the lines as early as possible. We will continue every day as we can under a very strict protocols here down here at Kaieteur Radio, Kaieteur News. So thank you very much for joining us. It is August the 24th, 2020, and I want to say welcome to all across this country, wherever you're joining us from, whether it's Berbice, the Demerara, Essequibo, and of course overseas. Many persons would have been asking in the last couple of days, where were you guys? We took a couple of days off to ensure that one, we take some rest. Two, we have a very clear idea as to where we're going with this show because many persons wanted to see that the show continue, that it would have started elections watch, COVID-19 watch, and they wanted it to be expanded and taken to another level, and that's what we were looking at. So we back here. Unfortunately, my good co-host Dinelli Singh is one of the several persons who are taking precautions, and we want to make sure that we have all our results back as part of it. And but as we speaking right now, there's some major worrying news that is coming in Berbice. It seems as if the policemen, and we're gonna have to call them out today, policemen and others along the border areas, the number 63 beach and other areas, Springlands and so on, that has been used to drop people in Guyana. We would have recalled a few days back. It was a number of Cubans were caught in the minibus. Two Guyanese are also were arrested. They facilitated the entry of the people here, picking them up here, and they were arrested and being placed in quarantine while they were being tested. This would come after news at least 5 Cubans who would have been detained also tested positive. So it looks as if we have some rogue Guyanese people not paying attention, and we're going to have to call them out very early. You're putting the people of Guyana at risk, and the authorities must be very, very clear, very much aware that when you break the laws, you should feel the full brunt of the laws. Today, we are going to ask the authorities right away to ensure that they do whatever it is to make sure that these people are punished for doing that, because you know that the borders have been closed. Why are you facilitating for a few dollars more? Or people, and it's very clear, with those 5 cases of Cubans handing Berbice, a number of cases, this is East Berbice, it means that people are not paying attention. This morning also, you would know that our cases have gone past 1,000 cases now for COVID-19. It is the big thing now. Everybody has to be aware also. Recently, it was announced that 2 ministers at least were tested positive for COVID-19, and they would have been on a lockdown. They would have been working remotely, carrying out the duties. So we have to be very much aware, very much careful as to how we going forward and how we are protecting ourselves. So good day to you wonderful people down in Berbice there. I want to say that I was there a couple days back, and I love Rose Hall Market. The good day to all the vendors out there who would have said, wow, you're here. Lots of crabs and fresh fish and vegetables and so on. Berbice people very, very warm. But they're no exception. All Guyanese people are warm. And I want to say a good day to the folks down in New York, all across the United States of America who've been joining us, who've been with us day in, day out. Canada, and wherever you, if I miss you, I'm going to come back to you a little later. But we want to go straight into some news before we go to the lines, because today we want to talk a little about one of the big news that is affecting all, or a lot of people. We hear in it's thousands of persons, and according to the authorities, according to the government, what they're investigating, it is a Ponzi scheme. However, the persons, a Cuban national who's married to a Guyanese, who is in custody at the moment, both of them are in custody. It is no such thing, there's no such thing as a Ponzi scheme in this particular case. It's all legit, and they want the authorities to free them, to allow them to bring the money into the country so they could pay off persons who want to be paid off. So we are going to follow that story. We're going to want to ask you guys what you think about it. So you could call us in a very short while and tell us what are some of your thoughts about the accelerated funds and how it was operated. Is it the government's fault, or is it a legit something? The fact is, there are many questions that has been raised over this issue here. How is the money leaving Guyana? How is the people, or how are the people who are managing this fund, this so-called fund, How are they ensuring that the people who are investing with them, that the money is coming from clean origins, that there's not money laundering involved in this particular case? We want to reach out to a couple of people who would probably be very close to that organization or investigating. And in a very short while, we are going to try to do that so they could probably bring some clarity. What is made very clear is that one former minister, Winston Felix, has issued a statement saying that all the procedures were followed with the granting of a citizenship to Mr. Yuri Dominguez, I think it is. We're going to get that name back to you. But he is the Cuban guy that is at the forefront of this particular accelerated fund, which the authorities, the Guyana Security Council, as well as the central bank, is saying that it's very, very clear something is suspicious here. And he, in any case, he hasn't been licensed to collect money on behalf of people. And therefore, they're investigating him for the role that he's played and see what is this issue. But they have gone ahead and arrested him, seized some computers. So we are going to bring you those details. In the meantime, this morning, I think the former Minister of Health, this is Waldo Lawrence, as well as Kate Lowenfield, would have appeared in court, placed on bail. Charges for them with their role with regards to the elections, March 2nd elections, and the Ashman's building there, whether fraud was involved or not. They are charged with fraud-related issues on that elections there. And so we are going to continue following that as it go forward. But in the meantime, let's take a quick look into the Kaieteur News front page. It was August the 23rd, Sunday, August the 23rd. Maid's other son participated in burning body of kidnapped Canadian. Rice farmer still being grilled. It's a serious story. Somebody has lost their life, and it looks as if money was involved. Somebody is alleged to have owed this foreign guy, this guy based overseas, a grandfather. He came in with the son, was stuck here because of COVID-19. And the story is that the attempts were made to kill them. They killed the grandson, burned his body. And unfortunately, it was somebody that was very close to them that was paid, allegedly. And they're in custody. And the mastermind, who's said to be a rice farm, is also in custody. They're being grilled. So we are going to continue to follow that story. Very tragic story there for the family. The gentleman that was killed was said to be not in very good health, had an operation, and that was how they were able to identify his remains because of operations to his surgery to his head. ExxonMobil given wishy-washy answers on critical environmental matters for Payara. EPA had insists all concerns have to be addressed before approval. This is a very serious story. ExxonMobil will continue to dominate the Guyanese people business as far as concerned with the money and the revenues that's coming into the country. If we get it right, we are going to be some very rich people. But as of now, that is something that is up in the air, that will be not very clear as to how going forward. There has to be an entire relook at this deal that we would have had with ExxonMobil, and I think that's the direction that we're going in. And so ExxonMobil is under a lot of pressure now to do the right thing. Ramkaran Shuman Gavai appointed government advisors. And so that's a good story there, meaning that it looks as if the new government here is reaching across the divide to see whether it has a little more inclusive governance. Of course, there's some criticisms on that by the opposition, which is saying that, look, there's not going to be an opposition anymore because that one seat which was given to the join the parties is now with the government, because Schumann, who's representing the new join the parties, is with the government. So they're not too happy with the situation that Schumann is actually an advisor to the government on issues. 2 Kaieteur News reporters test positive for COVID-19. As I said before, this is something that we pay very close attention to. We have signaled or triggered a number of protocols here, safety protocols down at Kaieteur Radio, Kaieteur News. That is going to be for the ultimate protection of our staffers when the news came, and we are going to continue to do that. But we also want to say to all Guyana, please, and this is Gildarie. I'm really, really worried, not only for ourselves, but of course for the children and for the vulnerables who would be exposed and who are the ones that are likely to be affected badly if anything goes wrong, if they're positive. Because if you have underlying conditions, it becomes very worrisome at that point in time. And I could tell you that a number of cases have gone past 1,000. We were projecting at the end of the month. I must tell you, at the end of September, I must tell you we've gone past that, and the numbers are going to continue rising because we're doing madness in this country. We have to stop it. We're gathering at the seawalls. Yesterday it was packed. It's as if we don't care. This morning in front of the court when Walter Lawrence and Keith Lowenfield was there was a big crowd there. And I saw this. I have to juxtapose this with the Minister of Health. Minister of Health is there warning people that if you walk without your mask, you could be charged. Here, there's a big crowd that's standing there, close proximity to each other. What are we saying? What are we doing? What are the political parties? What is the opposition political party, the coalition, doing, protecting its people? You have a right to protest. I would be the first one to say that, but you have to do it to ensure in keeping with the laws. The regulations state very clearly: social distancing, wear your mask. Please, we need to protect ourselves. If not for you, do it for your children and for the rest of Guyana. Coalition, AFC, APNU spends over 92 million on law reform commission, but no work done. Attorney General Adnan. I would have seen a response from Basil Williams that the COVID and other issues would have affected the appointment with that. And the Landlal would have responded and says, but you found time to appoint other stuff and do other stuff, but you didn't see time to waste money and not do the appointments to the Law Reform Commission, which would have seen changes with the laws and so on. So we're spending money, throwing money wild into the wind. GCOM gazettes of election results and seating allocations. Persons who failing to wear face masks in public to face fines, jail time. Minister Anthony, this is today's newspaper. There's another story that is happening in Berbice here. Kingley residents, the Lincoln Lewis dispute, government to regularize lands. I'm not sure why we don't allow the courts to work, but we are doing things out of the court. The court has not ordered. So here it is, people are going and decide that this land belongs to them, and it is thing. But let's see where this story goes. 13 out of 16 beds at GPHC COVID-19 ICU occupied. Worrying times again. We are running out of medical personnel to deal with the issue of COVID-19. We are running out of beds. This situation is getting out of hand because our people not listening. They're still going out there. I understand. And Raj, I think we got to pay attention to this. I understand down on the highway yesterday, all the creeks were filled. People have a nice time. They have a nice time in the bars. And this thing here, when you know what's going to happen, the longer that we take to bring this into hand, is the longer this country will have to shut its borders or restrict flights, and we're going to continue to have a situation here. We need to be very, very serious. We need to be disciplined. Very, very disciplined. So I am going to say to you guys, let us be very serious about how we bring this country back and try to bring it back to some level or degree of normalcy. So it is, go back to the front page again of Kaieteur within Sunday and yesterday. Coalition used close to $15 million tax dollars to pay elections and other court cases. This is something that is really, really horrible. This is something that is really, really illegal. How do you use taxpayers' dollars to pay for parties' issue? That is what the story is saying. Special audit to follow. This is Nandal is saying that. So we would have asked us questions and the parties. There were never anything, but there were never any proper answers coming out. So let us see how that develops. I think Nandal has been saying a lot of things, and we want to see how these cases develop. Contracts of political fat cats of Sarah to be scrapped. Millions of dollars paid for little work done. That is what the story is saying. This is Sarah, which is supposed to go after state assets that were stolen by politicians. Very little work done, millions of dollars spent. What happened here, my friends? What happened here? Why is our money being spent and we're not getting our money? We're not seeing value for our money. And $15 million bought by Region 6 2 years ago, never used. Waste of money again. 6 months later, no work started on Wales cold storage agro-processing project. 200 acres prime waterfront lands gifted to foreign company. Need to see if you take the people lands, what is it that you're doing with it? And what is happening here at Nisil? We need to get our acts together. We can't give away our assets like that and not get value. If you're getting it, the price got to be fair, and there has to be investment. It can't be 6 months later, nothing else done. We have to look back at these transactions. Might as well shut down the oil sector if Guyanese don't share in the prosperity. This is Vice President Jagdeo. And there has been a lot of comments over the story here as to how far we are, whether we could actually benefit. It cannot be that one party. I think it is Prime Minister of Trinidad, Keith Rowley, who would have said you cannot have an agreement in which one party was referring to the oil sector in Trinidad, the oil industry, talking about all these deals that they have. And he said it cannot only benefit the oil companies, it has to benefit the people. And he would have started a process, of course, lots of pushbacks there, to have a better deal for Trinidad, stating you must give us a little something more, give us a little something more. It looks good on your part too. So, of course, there's this big editorial front page comment here in Kaieteur today. When will we get some sense? And Kaieteur is asking about this issue here. Why are we paying attention to a little 50 million here and there when you have billions of dollars from the oil companies that we losing, that's slipping through our fingers because we're not paying attention? We need to start paying attention there, and do not forget what is the elephant in the room. So that's interesting. We have to be very, very serious when money is missing or going from our pockets, from our bank accounts. We have to be paying very close attention. I think Glenn has not lost sight for that. A good day to you, Mr. Glenn Lal, publisher of Kaieteur News and the owner of Kaieteur Radio. And of course, the management, good day to you guys. You guys have been with us day in, day out. And I must tell you, I would put a pause here before I go to the phone lines and tell you I'm struggling here. I'm alone. I miss my friend Yog Mahadio, my co-host. How are you doing, sir? I know we're going to be back this evening here, room 592. And we are going to try to get the show back on the road. Many people have been calling us. They want us. They've missed us. And I want to say thank you very much. The thoughts have been kind. And, of course, they're encouraging us. We are going to try to... I'm going to try to get this show through, and a couple of days until my co-hosts and things are streamlined back again. As of now, we are going to protect ourselves. And, of course, we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you how things are going down your end. We want to hear from you about our government. How are they doing? What is it that you would like to see them do? We want to hear from you about the COVID-19. What can we do to protect ourselves? What can we say to the police when you see things? Should you shut your mouth? It's nobody's business except it's the job of the police and the authorities, the Ministry of Health. So I want to hear from you. How are you making out down there? Now it's been almost more than 3 weeks since Irfan Ali was sworn in as the president of Guyana. And I want to hear from you. What are some of your thoughts? What is it that you would like to see him do? What are some of the encouragements? What do you say about going forward? What do you think? Of course, with this so-called Ponzi pyramid scheme, which has affected so many thousands according to what we're hearing. I understand some big businessmen would have taken the plunge and put money into something, into this scheme here, into something that they believe is legit, and they're holding the bag at the end of the day because it's in limbo at the moment. The authorities are saying that it's not above board. So we are going to go... before I go to the phone lines, I want to tell you that we have our lines, 62222. That's where you're going to send your messages to. Let us hear from you. And of course, I want to hear from some families too. As usual, Gildarie is back. And Gildarie has been contacted by a couple of people, good people of Guyana. And they're saying, let's make a couple of family happy again. So let me get about 6, 7 families. You give us some text 6222222, and let us hear from you. And of course, 2267453. We back right across Guyana. It is the Wake Up Guyana show here on 99.1, 99.5. And you could also get us on Kaieteur Radio on Facebook or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. Let me get back a little. I'm a little rusty here. Took a couple days off to make sure that we get ourselves. I was really, really tired. 5 months on it, and we've been on it. We were editing lots of stuff for election. People would do not believe the amount or would not understand the amount of work that we have behind the scenes. We have our newspaper that we were still writing, we're editing, we're doing radio morning and night. So, but it's always been a pleasure. I think the encouragement from you guys have been tremendous. We have wonderful people here in Guyana. So I want to wake you up. I want to say while the news might be a little grim on the COVID-19 front, let us take heart. We have our country before us. So there's a lot of work. We have a brand new government in place. I want to say a good day to the opposition leader, whoever that person is when the name comes up, and to the opposition. More than 40% of the persons in Guyana would have voted for them. And I want you guys to go to the parliament. I want you guys to ensure that you do your job. You have to represent the people of Guyana on the various committees. Let us see that we have a good, healthy discussions on the way forward for this country. Many, many things. We need good laws. We need stronger laws. We need some things to be corrected. We need our constitution to be upgraded. We need all eyes on our oil spendings on this deal here. There must be constant agitation on the way forward. So let us go straight to Raj. Raj, how you doing? Did you miss me for the last couple of days? Yes, he says yes. Raj is all masked up today and he seems ready and willing. So, Raj, let's get to the line. We want to hear from our people. 2267453. Let us hear from you guys. And I think I have somebody on the line already. Good day, caller. You're on the air.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I miss you.
You miss me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for
I
that.
like to hear that voice.
Oh, you do?
Yes, and I am really concerned about this COVID-19 because I get in mad when I see people walking on the road and don't have on any mask, and they should hear that every day that more and more people get in it. And especially with some children, they're walking with small children on the road. I'm really worried about that. And I want the police to charge them when they don't wear a mask. Do you think that is right?
Well, there's so many things that's happening
I
right now.
know.
People are starving.
I
People
know
are getting it
too.
really, really hard because
know.
we haven't really started giving out people a lot of help right now.
Yes,
And when
I
you
know.
got a couple of kids in front of you, I think nothing else matters when you see their little hungry faces.
True.
If you're a man for the house and your wife and there's nothing in the cupboard, nothing in the fridge,
No.
your attention is going to be elsewhere. So I understand very clearly, but we got to send a very, very clear message. I don't like to see people gathering on the seawall when we
That's
know it's
true.
that is
And
madness.
drinking rum all over the place.
Yes, it is.
God, these people, them, I don't know what really do some of them.
Right. So we
Yeah,
have to be very careful. I hear what
and-
you're saying there.
Yeah, and right now I'm a cancer case, and I just scared to go outside, but I have to go to my clinic.
Oh my,
I have-
yes.
yes,
You
I have to
please
go
make
to
sure
my-
that you wear your mask.
Yeah, I does, and sanitize my hands, and so I does, and Leonard, when you go to the hospital, right, or even like the supermarket, they got something that's pointed to your forehead
Yes.
to check your temperature.
Yes.
My mom said that is not right because she read it in Kaieteur paper.
I'm gonna check it back because there's somebody that they just point in as long as they safe distance away from you when they do it. It's a temperature machine. It's a
because
thermometer.
I know, but she read it in the Kaieteur paper, and she wrote and she said, "Tell them don't do that to you."
Yes, we'd have to. I think the Ministry of Health would have sent out something else too. But we're gonna get those information back. I'm back here now. I'm gonna struggle a couple days because I'm missing my co-host. So I'm gonna do everything here.
I
But
know.
glad to
I
hear
miss
you
him
guys.
too, one of an alley.
Yes. So we making sure that all our staffers are protected. We're not allowing too
Yeah.
many people in the studios.
Okay, and I need help too.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
need
So
help too, dear.
62222. See if you could get us a text onto that. Let us hear your situation, and
Oh,
we're gonna take it from there.
okay, love. Thank you so much.
God bless you, and have a
You too.
pleasant rest
Yeah,
of the day.
you
So,
too.
it is Wake Up Guyana, and it is on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5, right across this beautiful country of ours. And we want to hear from you, beautiful Burbies, Demerara, the beautiful people in Region 9. How are you guys doing there? Please ensure that you pay attention to what is happening with your borders there with Brazil. If you know of anybody who's doing anything illegal, tell the authorities because we need to protect our people. This thing is getting out of hand. That is because we are allowing the authorities could only do so much. They could only test and keep people. There's a lot of money that's involved here that costs to put people up in a hospital. We've been forced right now to tell people who are COVID-19 positive to stay home because there's little space. Have you ever put a thought to what is happening to the doctors and the nurses? They've been on this since in March, February, March. And I want to say you guys are the real heroes, along with the policemen and the women and everybody else. However, there's some rogue policemen and women, and even customs who are seeing people doing things along some of our beaches. Minibus people who are guilty of freshening people up and down. My people are saying that they're only doing the job. I'm telling you, if you know that you're doing something illegal, you're as guilty as anybody. You should be charged for defying anything to do with COVID-19 regulations because they're very, very clear that you should not be doing anything that's going to see people crossing the borders. If you know that you are taking part, participating in anything like that, you are breaking the laws, endangering the people. I'm very, very serious about that. And so let us get it right. We should not, we cannot put our people in danger. So right across this beautiful land of ours, and wherever you join us from, a good day to you guys. Let us see what is in our messages today, and I hope that I'm hearing from some good people of ours. I think I let me see. This is coming from Derek. Leonard, good to see you back live. Let us wake up, Guyana, with the truth. Thank you very much, dear Derek. And of course, we need back the curfew at 6 p.m. and let the business close at 3 p.m. That's coming from somebody else. Good afternoon, Gildarie. Just to let you know, why is it that the NIS is taking so long? We send an email to them. I thought that the situation at NIS had improved their communication from Zamir Bash from London, UK. We are going to bring them, as I'm back here today, NIS Communications Department has already says, we had the lady here a few weeks back, that they're willing to come on as regularly as we want them. And I'm going to open the lines here for them to, send their messages. You could call them and talk directly to them. So let us see what happens. We are going to bring them as we have been doing, and we're going to see how that goes there. So thank you very much. I always watch the show and let them continue to do what they're doing. Thank you very much. Good job. This coming from somebody else. A very welcome back, Leonard, Pablo, Gildarie. Everybody call me Pablo now. I'm not sure where Pablo come from. Thank you very much, my brother dear, all the way overseas. And so that's it for the time being. Let's go straight back to the lines. It's the People's Day. Good day. You're on to Kaieteur Radio. How may I help you?
This is Kaieteur radio station.
Yes, it is. You're on air. Go ahead.
No, I would like to speak to Mr. Gildarie.
You're speaking to Gildarie.
Oh yes, I pick up your voice, but I only hear your voice for a long time. This is the guy, boy.
Mr. Digar, how you doing, sir?
Man, welcome back on the radio, boy.
Thank you. I took a couple days off. You miss me?
Man, miss you bad. Oh, I miss you. My wife miss you more bad, the mistress.
Okay, how's she doing? Very warm lady. I met her.
She's there, man. I gotta come down and bring the letter for look after the eye thing, man.
No problem. You know how to do that. I'll be chatting that, okay?
I get your cell no, man. Think I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna see you tomorrow or the other day.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. And good day to everybody down at Perseverance.
How is your family, man?
Everybody's good, sir.
Look, she like to speak to you. Come, Abby, come.
Yes.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. You're on air. How are you doing?
How you do?
Pretty good.
I love and darling son. I miss you. I jump on the radio and nothing in coming on.
I don't know. I'm going to blame Raj today. Raj, why didn't you do something last week?
No, but here now, we still listening for your voice. You
T-
don't blame Raj.
All right, I'm
We
not going to
still,
blame Raj. Raj
we
is a lovely fellow.
yes, we still listening, Amy. Oh my God, if you come out for this air, the Guyanese people are so vexed and crying every day. I just sitting here, man. I just sitting. You
All
gonna
right.
see what you gonna do for me when my husband come down, right?
Yes, no problem. So
And
thank you very much for joining
when you
us.
coming down any day for come see your grandma, you must call we and tell we.
Thank you very much, dear ma'am. Have a
Yeah.
pleasant rest of the day.
Okay. Bye
God
bye. I
bless.
love you.
Love you too. Bye bye. So thank you very much. So very warm people down there in Maikoni. I want to tell you it's Perseverance Maikoni. That the gentleman that was just talking to us, if you're familiar with the East Coast Road, there's a big silk cotton tree in the middle of the road. Has lots of stories behind that. Anybody who tried to chop it down dies or goes and something bad happened to them. The guy that called there, he's the guy that planted it more than 30 years back. Would you imagine that? So lots of stories here. And the people always look there whenever they see they look at it at awe. That big silk cotton tree in the middle of the road that nobody wants to cut down. So it is some stories there. Good day to you, Mr. Digar, Mr. and Mrs. Digar down at Perseverance, Mike Coney there. Good day to you. So we are going to check for some more messages here. We want to hear from you guys. How you guys doing? Send us those messages. Um, I just want to say that since hampers sharing out, I never received any. I'm not sure who's sharing out hampers. The hampers, the government, I think in some hinterland communities there, they are doing something. But I think the president, Irfan Ali, has announced $4.5 billion for help to vulnerable families. Be hoping that more details would be coming out of this because it is to, I'm not sure in what form, whether it is hampers among other things. Let us see what happens as we go forward. But we are going to continue to bring you the details as we get them. Right about now, what we could tell you is that based on the news that we have gotten so far this morning with regards to elections and elections related issue, which is over, two persons, this is former Minister of Health Walter Lawrence and Chief Elections Officer Kit Lowenfield appeared in court this morning. Additional charge there for Kit Lowenfield and his role in the March the 2nd elections. They're accused of fraud, and so they would have appeared in court and placed on bail. Matter comes up back again shortly within the next couple of weeks. I'm going to get some details for you there. We go back to the line again. Thank you for calling Kaieteur Radio. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you doing, my brother?
Fine, thank you. My contribution is, as what I listened this morning from the news with the Minister of Health, I support him. These people with COVID, they are not taking it seriously, because right here in Diamond, I see you have some shops, big yard, and if you see this afternoon, you pass it, you see a whole set of them. It's not elder people, young people in the teens, 20s, and 30s, just drinking and sporting and music, and their clothes get no face mask, nothing. And I support the minister, what he said, charge up and put them on the court, and if not, let them go face the consequence. Because these people are just doing everything on a deaf ears. And this thing is very serious because look, our population is very small population. To have this amount of cases of really over 900 coming to 1,000 cases to compare to other parts of the world, no. We Guyanese had to take it most drastic, most seriously. And I support the government, as the minister what he said, do it. That's the only way Guyanese will get sense. When they start to have to pay a $5,000 fine or $5,000 fine, I have not spent 3 months in the prison, well, then they got to come to the senses. Then they're going to come to sense, I'm a big person. I'm 64 years, and I come from Diamond, and it's very heartbreaking to see how these people are behaving, this COVID is just rapid, as one caller say, it's not race or creed or rich or poor. It's anyone he can take, and that's my contribution, my brother, and all the best, and we're happy to hear you back on the radio station.
Thank you very much, dear. God bless you too. Right. Good day to all the good folks down in Diamond. I love Diamond area there, although we have to do something about that access road. and of course the congestion there is horrible in the mornings. So you guys stay safe. And I must agree with you. I was looking at a video last week with when the Region 3 commander, Mr. Errol Watts, would have walked into a bar. I think it's a Crane, made it wrong somewhat. I think it became the subject of some reports in the newspaper. And there were actually people who were extremely shocked that the commander is there. They're not shocked that they're there in the bar having a drink when the law is very, very clear. I'm not sure what happened to all these shopkeepers and everything. Yes, you have to make money and life continues. But the law is the law is the law. You have to make sure that you don't break the laws in which you endanger people. And why is it that if you so badly want to drink, I don't understand. Why don't you buy the beer or the rum or this, what do you call it? Red stay home dialing. I think somebody says if you want a quarter or half quarter, buy it, take it home. There's no need for you to be in the rum shop. I mean, I understand. I miss the bars, so I like playing pools a little too. But I don't go because you put yourself in danger there. So we got to be very responsible. If you need to sell, sell it through the grills of the gate and said, please leave, do not stay. You could do that. What is the reason that you'd have to open the bars? The creeks. I see people going to the creeks posing our big style yesterday. There are lots of minibuses. People are just having a nice time. It's as if we in a normal situation at the moment. We have got to be very, very serious. This is very serious. The longer that you continue to have that kind of cavalier attitude, is the longer that we're going to come back to some normalcy. We only have to look at, think it is, at New York. New York was the epicenter. People were dying there. Lots of Guyanese died, and they were able to bring it back somewhat under control. Why? Because one of the things that they do is insist that everybody wear masks. And I understand, looking at some figures, I think they said that they were able to reduce the number of deaths by 70,000 persons because of masks being worn. So let's get it right. Let's get this show on the road. Let us protect our people. So good day to you, those folks down in New York, right across America. Of course, we see some folks here from the Netherlands. And I want to say good day to you, wherever you're joining us from. I miss you guys tremendously. So continue joining us as we come back and bring the biggest show, the daytime show. Wake Up Guyana right here on Kaieteur Radio. To you people, it is your voice. We want to hear from you. Let us hear another voice here. Good afternoon, caller. You on the air? Good afternoon, caller. You on the air?
Good afternoon, Leonard, and how are you this afternoon?
Pretty good, ma'am. I'm pretty good. Go ahead.
So I'm calling concerning the repatriation flights for Canada. We've been here since February, myself and my daughter, and we've applied online for the repatriation flights, but nobody's responding to us saying
that is to go back or to come in? That's to go back or to come in?
To go back to Canada.
Where did you apply to? The Canadian High Commission or?
Yes. They gave us some details and we had to apply.
Did you try calling that number? What's happening when you call that number?
Pardon me?
When you call that number, did you get through? Did they give you any numbers?
Yes, I get through. I spoke with the guy and he gave me the website that I had to go on to apply to fill up my information as well as my daughter's information. They did respond to that they received the application and they will contact us, but it's been a while and nobody's saying anything. So we're wondering to know what's going on, if there's any help that we can call some other place so somebody can tell us something about it.
All right, I'm gonna try to make some contacts, see whether we could have an idea, because I think there's maybe
last Friday when Nelly was there, she was giving us some information, but at the same time we here on the Essequibo Coast had blackout, so I didn't get to hear what exactly she was saying concerning the flag.
All right, I'm going to try to make some contacts. I'm not sure if there's a waiting list. We're not very clear because they have their own specific way of doing things here.
Okay.
Do you have any idea if it's a lot of persons like yourself who's affected?
Yes, a lot of people, because I've heard one lady call on the program. She said she already paid and so forth, and these people are going and she's not getting called, and she's been here a while too, since March, and we've since February as well.
All right, I'm going to try to get some details. I'm going to try to make contact with the Canadian High Commission and see what it says there, and what's the procedure, and how they're dealing with it there. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
God bless
You
you.
have a
Thank
good
you.
day. Bye.
Good day. Bye. So there you would have had it. I think there was a flight that came in, a repatriation flight for a number of persons stuck within various areas in the Caribbean. I think yesterday, I think more than 50 persons would have landed here. Um, uh, this is coming from one of our viewers, listeners. Good afternoon to you, sir. I just want you to know that all the COVID assistance, the house did say that one hamper per house, but my problem is if two or three family living in the same house but the cook is separate, how is that one hamper gonna be shared? I'm not sure. I thought this is per family, not per home. If it's something, and by the way, who is it that share now these stuff? Because we want to know. So you guys got to give us a little clarification on that. When the people come in, who's sharing out? Because we haven't received a lot of money. Sorry, a lot of information on that. So, good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. I'm from Berbice. I think in Berbice there should be stricter measures in place so the quarantine beach area and the curfew to be revised. Business should be like 8 to 4 and the curfew 6 to 6 just to get this COVID-19 under control. I agree with that. I think what I want to say to the Berbice people, we are hearing that the police and the authorities who are supposed to be monitoring the beaches, they are allowing. I mean, how could somebody explain this to me? You have an entire minibus that went all the way at number 40 minibus, which is the Kitty Campbellville route, went all the way to Berbice to collect somebody up there or some Cubans. It means that somebody had to know something, and you know that if the people are coming there and the borders are closed and you're going to do something, it has to be something illegal. How come you going there? And then the Berbice Bridge, always there's always a control point with police and customs on there. So if you're gonna be passing there, why would you want to take the chance to go all the way past that point there? Somebody would have had to give you an okay for you to be driving, passing that checkpoint because there's a permit that you need to be out of zone. Did you get that permit, and how did you pass that out of zone, that checkpoint? Then you gone all the way. What reassurance would you have needed as a minibus to believe that you would come back and be allowed to pass that? So something is wrong here. But what we've been told is that people are being paid off. It's like about $100,000 to cross over the Berbice River, the quarantine river there from Suriname. So somehow people are landing, the Cubans are landing in Suriname or wherever they're landing in, and they be paying big time to cross the borders here into Guyana. But the problem is the Berbice, that whole thing there, they're very strict to the bridge. Every time you go there, you got to pass on the tent that is located by the Berbice Bridge there, and they're checking your temperature and so on. And if you have 5, 6 people sitting in a minibus, they are going to stop you. So something is wrong here. The authorities need to pay attention. And we have got to be the ears and eyes, because the longer that we believe that is somebody else's job, that is Rad's or Gildarie or somebody else's job or Glenn Lal's job, we're going to continue because we need to open our mouth. We've opened our mouth for elections. That I want you guys to open your mouth and start talking. When you see these things, do not allow it to slip by. It is our country. We need to protect this country. Let us get it right. Let us get our act together. And as people of this country, it is our country. We have to demand a better oil deal. We have to demand better monitoring of our borders. We want to be safe. My kids want to be safe. You want to be safe. We want to go back to the creeks and the seawall. Not like the madness is happening here now. I could tell you that we've gone past 1,000 cases this morning, and that is not a pretty figure, and it is going to go up more because more people are walking around and they're not showing any symptoms but are infected. That is a fact. As we push up the numbers, the number of tests that is happening here, you are going to see the figures and it's going to go up. So we need to protect ourselves. This thing is not going to be over with in a little short while. And we need everybody to have their hands on the deck to protect this country. It's not my job. It's not Rad's job. It is everybody's job to ensure that this country is protected. So you are to the Wake Up Guyana show right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5. You could also get us on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. So thank you for joining us this evening at 7:30 p.m. sharp. I'm going to be with my good co-host, or rather the lead host on room 592, and we are going to continue to bring you those incisive analysis on situation in Guyana, be it from the political side, from the COVID-19 side, development in Guyana. We are going to bring you the truth, the hard truth, and nothing but the truth. Dr. Yog Mahadi, a good day to you and your family. So we're going to go back to the lines again. Good day, caller, you on the air.
Hello.
Yes, good day. You're on Kaieteur Radio. Go ahead.
Hi, Leonard. Welcome back.
Thank you, ma'am.
This COVID cases that going up. You know, I've been watching at the TV today with the court case with Walter Lawrence and Mingo. Now look at the amount of people that were on the road there. What they need to get is the GDF trucks and just pick up these people, go on the seawall, just pick them up and charge them. Because the Minister of Health can't be asking people to stay off the road, obey the COVID. The police stand up right there. People bursting through the rail and pick them up and lock them up. I heard last week James Bond was calling the people out to go at the court to support Miss Lawrence. Now he's a lawyer. He shouldn't do that. Last week with Jones, I heard the lawyer was calling out people from Buxton stand by, people from Agricola stand by. This thing is getting ridiculous. When they didn't call out the people to give them something. I don't know why Guyanese just keep getting used every day by these people. They don't have nothing to give them. They already get their pockets full and they ain't got nothing to give them. But still they're calling them out to support them and have nothing to give them. And these people still going out on the road. They need to pick them up and lock them up. All who are on the seawalls or the creeks and everywhere. You can't be safeguarding yourself and people just going about like if nothing happened. You have to go to the markets. You have to go and buy stuff. Sometimes you go there, you get in contact with somebody. And you're trying to keep yourself safe.
Well,
Why
you see, that is how, when we have politicians, and this is not taking a lash on Mr. James Bond or whoever it is, what I'm saying very, very clearly, as leaders, we have to be very responsible. We have to be very firm. And we have to tell people this is the reality. You have to deal with it. Don't lie to the people. Do not fool them.
But that's what I heard this thing. I heard it last week, and I say, hear this man telling the people to stand by to come out to the court this Monday for Miss Lawrence. Then at Jones, I heard his lawyer calling out the people to be on standby. Standby to do what? To come up on the road and get shot? This is what they got for the people. This is what they got for we. To come out on the road, and still we can't see it. We still not seeing that these people are just using us. They're just using us, and we seeing it.
It is indeed true. We got to start, and when we see this thing, like I said before, let us open our mouth. Don't keep silent. This country is like a home. It is your home. It's a backyard. It's a front yard. It's your yard. You need to protect it. You don't want to see a man jump in your fence and you shut him out and you say, it's not my business. It's the police got to come and look after that. You have to protect your land.
You have to do it exactly. And I can't. This is why I can't understand when I hearing these lawyers calling out people. Why are you calling people? I heard my friend, the boy that I like, Peters, Selvin Peters, with Yoke the other night. And he was talking about the same Jones story. And he was saying the same thing that I was thinking. You can't calling out these people. The police not going to back down. They're not going to shirk if they frighten them. So what do you think would happen if anybody they pull a gun or anything? What do you think would happen in the crowd and blackout night?
Well, let me tell you something. I saw a video last week, and sometimes I wonder, maybe the police are showing a lot of restraint. But we have got to live the standards of the police. But I saw a video of a motorcyclist. hitting at a policeman.
Yes.
That same video showed that I think I saw the policeman through the first punch or maybe the second punch. Both of them should be charged. But what I'm saying, it's a respect for the police that is not there. And maybe it's a
Exactly.
two-way street. We need to start lifting the standards, because if you don't respect the law, and then our authorities, the government of the day, when you see how the courts would have been disrespected, how we have been doing things, I don't care how anybody want to put it. At the end of the day, when we have an abuse of the system, we have to blame ourselves. We have to blame the authorities, because they're the one setting the example. If stealing is good, if you're doing everything that's wrong in the book and you believe that that's okay, it's setting a bad example. The children are seeing.
Yeah,
You are
exactly.
seeing. It's not a good thing.
It's not a good thing. You see, when this COVID thing the first start, you could remember in India, and they're still doing it. They catch anybody on the road. Sometimes they should go on to buy something, and the police was beating them. And we look at this thing and say, well, these people are the crazy. But now you're seeing why the people had to do it, because India, it got so many people. But still they're here, but this massive amount of deaths in India.
Yes, it is, and we are gonna, you know why we should be very angry and why we should be talking, agitating. The longer that we take to get our act together, changing our attitudes, is the longer we're gonna be in this position.
Yes,
All
and this
all because of what? A couple people want to make money, the rum shops.
this small population that we have, this small population, when these young people get it, die, and gone, who looking at their children? They're expecting their children for some grandmother or some auntie to look at them. They're not thinking. These people, they're just not thinking. Buy a rum, as you say, carry it home and drink it. Sit down and drink your beers home. You don't need to have a crowd.
Man, it's unbelievable. I see some people posting things at a couple of the malls they're hanging around with, and they sit down at the table. That's a nice hip thing that you're there hanging out.
Yeah.
You know, it's a young people kind of thing, and it's nice, but they don't understand the dangers. They don't.
They didn't understand the danger. And these same young people, they're going to get it and carry it home for the old parents, and is the old parents gone dead.
I agree with you there. I fully agree with you there, ma'am.
I got a son, and he like to go out, and I warn him. I said, because I home, and you bring anything and give me. Because these young people, they're not hearing. And if they pick them up and he in the crowd and they pick you up, it just got free.
Yes, it is. So we got to pay attention to this. We have
I am
to.
saying pick them up. Get the policing got big enough vehicles. Get the army trucks. Full the army trucks with them. Lock them up. Charge them. They get charged 1 and 2 times, they're going to stop.
It is, and I think we got to start putting some heavy fines for these things
Yes,
here.
they have to. And they're going to stop.
Yes,
they're going to
ma'am.
stop.
Thank,
Okay, I'm waiting tonight to look at you guys.
thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us, dear. Have a
Yes,
pleasant rest
okay
of the
then.
day.
Right, bye-bye.
Thank you very much. And that lady there has sent the point right home to my heart. And I'm going to say to you guys, I'm very, very nervous. Last Wednesday, after I would have learned that my other colleagues were start taking tests, we were at the inauguration ceremony I was invited there as a media personnel, not to cover, but there as a guest. So I went there at the cultural center, and when I come back and we learned news that the Minister of Foreign Affairs tested positive, I became a little worried because while there at the cultural center, I saw the big crowd that was there, and I got very, very worried. I didn't stick around. I missed it out today. Gildarie decided that's not for him. I had work to do, and I cut out. I jumped in my car and I drove away. But my other colleagues had to cover the event, had to get comments and everything from the other ministers, so they would have been intermingling, doing what they have to do. I went and took my tests on Wednesday. My colleagues took the test since a week before, and they were waiting days, and they finally got it. And a couple of them they would have been told that they're positive. I'm awaiting mine, and let me tell you what it is. It's moments like this that you start thinking very, very seriously. Oh my! I wish I could have been a little more. I wish I could have taken a little more precaution, and it's not a nice feeling. So that's why I can tell you we have taken several steps here at Kaieteur Radio, Kaieteur News, but it's not a good feeling that maybe we could have done a little more, at least for myself, to protect myself a little more. I have two kids; they're very young, and I would hate to think that something is going to happen to them or anything happen to my wife. I intermingled with my family, although we did say our distance and so on. The reality is that anything can happen. Maybe a little pass in something, and you get it there. So this thing is not an easy thing. It's not something that's gonna go away. I want to beseech you people. I want to plead with you people. Please, let us take our time. Let us protect ourselves. I know that the compelling reason why we're out there for a lot of families is because you have to earn a living. A lot of people are struggling. I understand that. But there's the other side of the coin too, where many people are using occasions to socially be with each other, meaning you're going to a drink, you're going to the creek. These are things that we could do without. We don't need that at this point in time. So let us, start being a little strict. I agree with the health minister that people who are caught without masks, regardless which part of this country, you should be fined. And so let us get this thing very, very serious. I can't stress it anymore. Not a caller in line? Yes, caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Pretty good, sir. How you doing?
I'm trying.
Yes, ma'am.
Just like to make a few points.
Yes, sir.
One of them is when it comes to politicians and their leadership, I see a lot of videos of the stupidness. And one of the things is, why are you calling people out in COVID-19? Do you love them? Do you really care about the people that you're calling out to support you? Don't you have a lie to represent you? What's going on? Why are you encouraging the people to come out? And I saw those videos the lady talk about, and that is very foolish. Secondly, something has to be done to help people with COVID-19. It's nice that everybody has to, and I agree with that. But you have to go and see how people live. And you have seen some of it, Mr. Yoga has seen some of it, and that's just some of it. People have stuff doing. And both governments, the last one and this one, you got to wait for something. Everybody's saying you got to wait but expect people to stay home. And that is difficult to do when you have kids. Thirdly, when it comes to Ponzi scheme, one of the things I'm upset about is that our police, I don't know if they didn't get good training, right training, I don't know what's going on. When it comes to the Ponzi scheme, when it comes to trafficking in persons, because these things with these Cubans coming in buses and all these things, it's trafficking in persons. We are not equipped, our team don't care to investigate properly. One of the things about the Ponzi scheme, it's the most difficult case in any country to solve with the best investigators because everything looks legit up to the last moment when that person decides to disappear with all the money. The question to the owner of the place, or the man who is the boss, how he get the people money out of the country and he can't get the money we have to give them back into the country. Are we speaking to fools? Is he speaking to foolish people? And that is it. One of the things businessmen get caught in this, and guess why? Because it's greed. There's no way you putting in no limit money and no business and collecting no big money. What business is only cocaine you could do it with? And that's what people capitalize on. And Guyanese got to catch themselves. I'm sick and tired of seeing what's going on. And look at the accidents on the road. COVID ain't catching some people. Some people just decide they're going to drive wild and do stupidness. And that's what's happening in our country. We, based upon looking at the elections, they say I think it's 400-something thousand people vote or 500,000 people vote. They say we got 750,000 people. Look how many people dead, people die in the last 6 months. Not by no chronic disease, forget COVID, accidents, families killing families. Something necessarily is wrong in this country. We need to wake up as a people. As your show said, wake up, Guyana. We need to wake up and take our lives seriously. Thank you very much, sir. And I'm glad, I hope that your test come back negative and you stay safe and everything. Have a good day.
God bless you, my brother. I really appreciate that. So as always, very good words here from that caller has been with us almost from day one. And I want to agree that this entire issue here with this accelerated fund, and if you don't know what it is, let me tell you, this thing has been dominating the news the last couple of weeks. There is a gentleman, a Cuban guy who has married a local lady here. His name is Yuri Garcia Dominguez and Aquila Ishmael. That is his wife, a local lady, and he would have been given a citizenship. He married a lady, and by virtue of that, he got citizenship. Now, he started taking money from people stating that he is involved with foreign trading, foreign currency trading, and he would have taken a lot of money. And we hearing at least 17,000 persons. He was arrested over the weekend along with his wife. They would have seized, the police would have seized computers and cell phones and so on, and they're looking. They want to know if this thing is legit. When you took the money, how did you get it out of the country? According to the Bank of Guyana, they would have issued a statement over the weekend, and I could probably read to you what it is. But in essence, what this statement is saying is that based on the bank accounts of Mr. Dominguez and Tika Ishmael of Accelerated Capital Inc., they're not seeing much transactions in those accounts. So where did you put the money? Did the money leave Guyana? Because if the money is not leaving here, how are you trading? I think Mr. Dominguez, when questioned, would have said that he would have bought something called bitcoins. So that meant that somebody has to be buying it here. Now, but in addition to that, what authorities are also worried about is that if you are the person who is doing this trading, and he's saying that it is foreign currency trading, it is not a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scheme. Um, how do you determine that the person who's coming to you investing, a citizen, that the money is above board, that is not from money laundering, that is not from illegal means, and therefore you're taking this money and you're putting it on Wall Street as you say that you're doing it? How do you determine that? So several questions. As we speak right now, they are moving to have the arrest of the two persons, Mr. Dominguez and his wife, Ms. Ishmael, to be a little longer beyond the 72 hours. They are looking at a number of charges that we understand. In the meantime, 17,000 persons have been affected, we understand. There's hundreds of millions of dollars. We understand it might be as much as 30 million US, which is like about 6 billion Guyana dollars. That's no ordinary sum that you're talking about. What could have led persons to have believed that this thing is above board? And we're not saying that it's not. As of now, the authorities are working on the assumption based on what is happening here. We can look at the Bank again statement, and the press release issued over the weekend says press release on Accelerated Capital Inc., an operator suspected pyramid scheme. The Bank of Guyana refers to the suspected pyramid scheme under the name of Accelerated Capital Inc., operated by Yuri Garcia Dominguez and Mr. Tika Ishmael, that's his wife. Currently, the company and individual have no accounts at any commercial bank. Bank accounts in the name of Accelerated Capital Inc., Yuri Garcia Dominguez and Ms. Tika Ishmael were all closed early this year. Please see details below. Previous accounts at commercial bank showed transactions, including foreign exchange transaction, which was small and insignificant. As the investigation continues, the Bank of Guyana will cooperate with the relevant authorities consistent with its regulatory responsibilities. And when you would have looked at the accounts, they had one at Bank of Baroda, one at Republic, one at Demerara Bank, and I think at GBTI as well. And they said at the height of the deposits, they're just 21 million, 2 million, 3.5 million, 1.5 million. So it's obvious that the monies did not go through the bank account. So how did it go through? And so this thing has really, really hurt a lot of people. A lot of persons would have come out and says that, you know, they should open some accounts, because Dominguez has told investigators reportedly that he has the money in some account and he just need to be out so he could make arrangement for the money to be sent back so the people could be reimbursed. That's the story that's coming out here. But the funny thing is, on the other side of it, the Bank of Guyana would have warned a couple of weeks back that when you see somebody come in and tell you that they're going to earn you 40% returns on your investment, be very, very suspicious. It doesn't matter. You have big companies like Apple, you have big companies like Amazon, Google, even ExxonMobil. Nobody gets 40, 50, 60% in returns, especially if you're a shareholder or something. When you see you get that, the bank give you 1 or 2%. We need to start educating ourselves, start reading, go to the internet, Google how pyramid schemes, how Ponzi schemes work. I'm not saying this is what it is because I've asked representatives of Accelerated that when Mr. Garcia or whoever it is, his wife, we need to talk to them because they need to answer. As of now, it's a very live investigation. The Ministry of Legal Affairs, Attorney General, and Landlal is involved with this. They would have met with the police top officials and others who were involved in this case, as well as the Securities Council, the Bank of Guyana, and so on, because it could leave a lot of people, a lot of persons would have sold properties to raise money to put into the system. Again, how did the money leave Guyana so it could go on Wall Street or wherever it is that it was being traded in, so that the man could do it? We're not sure how it left. And so investigators are very concerned about that. So it is a very, very serious thing. 40% per month is a very high rate of return. When you look at companies that generate that, I would like to invest. I would have loved to invest in something like that. So if this thing was so big, why wasn't Mr. Dominguez in the middle of Georgetown, maybe had his office maybe in one of those big buildings in Georgetown there, running it and everybody, but you go to the countryside, I'm not sure. So there's a lot of work there that needs to be done. But as of now, the authorities have decided to nip it in the bud and let us see where it goes. So they are investigating this matter. We have to be paying very close attention to it because we could remember a couple of years back, Alan Stanford and the T20, who made T20 cricket a household name to cricket-loving nations across this world, caught. He's in the U.S. jail right now for a Ponzi scheme that he would have headed. And we could have recalled other names, big names in the U.S. who would have run similar schemes. That seems all very big. But as of now, a lot of people are hurting, and this is a big development story. During the COVID time, people are saying that this was the man that saved them. A lot of people are looking as if he's a savior there. So let's get back to the line there. Good afternoon, caller. You on the air?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon. Could you lower your volume on the radio, please?
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, man.
Glad you come back.
Yeah, I'm glad to, man. I miss you guys.
Yeah, he and I try and forget how much days to you and I can't get on. Okay, my complaint is this. In Georgetown, under the stock market by the clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
It got some, right there, it got a Rasta man selling his drugs in afternoon time and morning time when the workers them going to work. They pick the people in pocket, cut the bag from the shoulder, carried away. Last week, them shoved down an Amerindian girl. Beat the girl. When everybody talking, they said, nobody must mind nobody business. People must mind their own business. But the speedboat coming over Georgetown, on the wharf there, it got a set of them again. Why these people don't go and work? Go to the botanic garden, clean it, weed it up, the 7 part and stuff, weed it up and clean it. Mm-hmm. Before you mess around people going to work, they're going to earn $1 when the day reach. They mean going to work for $1, they're going to rob people. And I think it needs police around there by the hospital, bus park, East Coast bus park, and West Coast and East Bank bus park. It needs police there.
Yes, I think that's a complaint that's been perennial in that area there. So
yeah, because my sister get robbed right there, and she didn't have money to go to work. The busman had to carry her to the work, and she had to get money from Chabas to come home back. This is not nice. Now if she not going to work, she's going somewhere where she would get money to come home.
Right.
I think this thing going over mark now. These people don't work.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to go and stand up and earn people money.
Yeah, it's them own, right? They put it in the people's pocket. Right. Yeah.
They have to go and sweat to forget.
Yes.
Then the same things what they do this morning by the court there. I think the police should have opened tear gas on them.
That is madness, absolute madness with those
They,
people.
they,
I don't like people don't pay attention. They're not
they don't pay
reading.
attention what they're doing. Okay,
Oh
that
my.
case, they people have to go to them case. They ain't giving you nothing. You going and burn yourself in the sun. You going and burn yourself and ball down in the sun for them. And when they're done, they gone home and you left on your own. I think the police should pick them up. A lot of slackness going on in this country. Well, I could talk since the 2nd of August, the president gone in there, and the cabinet, they working. They working. These people working. These people are sitting down, and a lot of money thief out from this country. Look, the estate. The estate, they sugar workers supposed to get money. They ain't get a cent. The estate start work again, study if they're going to get. Then I float estate, they broken down steady. I think what should they do in I float estate? I think the the president and I forget his name, the agriculture minister should go in there and check with those workers who work in there and what they're doing. You can't get people cutting cane 4 o'clock in the morning. They go in and cut cane, come up with a truck from Tiller Wales. All of that. And when they wake up for the earn a cent, they can't earn it. When the crop finish, thinking you're going to earn a couple cents, put up and save for a little hard time, you can't earn it. I think that is wrong.
I hear you, sister. I hear you. Thank you very much.
It's
Right?
very, very hard. It's very, very hard.
Yes. Thank you
It's
very much.
hard. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming through there, sister. All right. A good day to you. Joining us here on Wake Up Guyana, right on Kaieteur Radio. And this is a message coming all the way from Blackbush Pole that was up there. Beautiful people, wonderful people. I love it there. Did some fishing. I took the whole cast net and everything. First time I threw a cast net. Well, second time maybe. And I took the whole cast net and I threw it into the trench. Lots of laughter and say tongue boy come to Blackbush, and so it was fun, but it is what it is. But here's a message coming down from Blackbush here. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. I'm pleading with you to highlight the current deplorable condition of the Blackbush Pole, the only access road. Blackbush Pole is contributing so much to the national purse and is a breadbasket for Guyana. When it rains, residents have to wade through pools of water and mud to get out of the houses, out of the village. Yes, it is indeed true. And so Blackbush there, I spoke to some farmers and what they're saying. Farmers only want a couple of things. They want good drainage and navigation. They want good access road and weather. Weather is something that you can't really control, but they were asking for good access roads and of course drainage and navigation. And so they're asking authorities to continue paying attention to that. This is coming today with regards to the Ponzi scheme. Leonard, I'm back in New York. When Guyanese begin to see that refrigerated trucks with bodies in front of the hospital, when the people wake up to the reality that COVID-19 is real. Next, if this COVID is not under control, all of your aid in dollars from foreign countries will be used to address the pandemic. Regarding the Ponzi scheme, this Guyanese woman encouraged her husband to defraud the gullible Guyanese. These monies were taken in cash to trust companies or private banking sectors of the banking circle, then wired to foreign accounts in Cayman Island. Find out which bank in Guyana are using SWIFT system in Guyana, then you will solve this case. I'm not sure what this gentleman there is saying, that it is a fraud and that people money have already gone and that's it. Good afternoon. I don't know if I could send you a text. You guys can put it in the paper. I'm a PPP supporter. I don't like what it started to do. People in Guyana is upset. They need to remember that people is looking at what they're doing. I'm not sure what you're talking about, sir, but I would like you to tell us, or madam. Good afternoon, friend. Away from everything, I want to find out what happened to the Guyanese money with Fly Jamaica. I have over $200 in tickets I purchased. I know the file for bankruptcy. I'd like the new government to see if we could get back our money. Yes, that's a case that we've forgotten. Good afternoon. I'm texting because I'm in need of some help any way possible. Okay, we're going to get back to you with that. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. Welcome back. I listened to you guys. The doctor and nurses are doing a good job. Thanks for saying that on the air. The people around the world must wear the mask and avoid crowded areas. Thank you and God bless you. And so thank you very much for that. And let's go back to the line there, Raj. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, Leonard.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm calling concerning this COVID-19, the restriction in St. Cuthbert's Mission.
St. Cuthbert's Mission, yes.
Yeah, Leonard, this thing is overbearing. People still are gathering, sporting, even the two show, and nothing the task force for the COVID-19 doing nothing about it in St. Cuthbert.
So they have, let me see if I get this right. They have blocked access in and out, or they allowing boats and so to go up there.
Being traveling by boat, you're traveling through road on the highway,
Yes.
and the lockdown.
Uh-huh.
Still sometimes you never know, because people are still traveling, coming out of town, and you never know who could get this COVID-19
Uh-huh.
and bring it and share, because people still gathering, sporting day and night. The bar still open, the police station, they're there, the police, they ain't doing nothing about it.
And that is something that is bothering me because the police are very much aware. Why don't you? I think it's a money making thing. If somebody was suggesting that the police are everybody are involved with it, and maybe the police need to come out, because I can't understand your police station is next to a bar, and you see the bar is open and you know it's against the COVID restrictions regulations, and you're doing absolutely nothing. But it makes no sense.
Yeah, but even though you go and tell them they ain't going to do nothing.
It's all across the country that's happening, my brother. And guess what? We're out here, we don't know what's happening in the Gold Bush. I hear it's madness down there. It's chaotic.
The police, them and all involved in the drinking and so me, with Guyana, because we try and be very concerned about it.
Have you raised the matter with the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs?
No, sir.
All right. We're gonna probably have to try to get them on the show this evening or sometime or the other for them to tell us a little.
And the next thing to Leonard, we in St. Cuthbert sometimes you have to search for signal for getting. So I'm just wondering, like, if we could get contact with some telephone company just to go and put in a tower in St. Cuthbert. It's very really fatiguing because sometimes you're waiting for some call and to go back to work and you don't get in signal, and so you got to start charging and say, I'm not losing your job because the same thing I call you don't get in signal and so.
What you have there, GT&T or Digicel?
Digicel.
Digicel right now. All right.
Yeah, plus you got children that go to school. Yeah, sometimes you got the free Wi-Fi from the government, but sometimes still not enough because sometimes you could use the data plan.
Mm-hmm. But is the free Wi-Fi working all right?
Yeah, it's working, yeah, but, you got the children, them were going Wi-Fi, there for go and start them schoolwork. But still, sometimes when people gather up over so much, it just gets slow, and you can't forget what you got to forget from the internet.
Yes, I hear you. Thank you very much, dear, my brother. I'm going to try to raise this issue here.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes. So this evening, we are in room 592. Dr. Yog Mahadi is going to be leading the way. And we are going to have the Minister of Local Government, Nigel Dharmlal. Nigel Dharmlal is going to be here in room 592. We have many things to talk about. We're going to talk about, of course, the issue of St. Cuthbert's there. I'm going to ask him about that. How do we deal with those areas which have the restrictions have been taking the toll on? And this thing here, the longer, like I said before, these are one of the collateral damage that you would see happening. The longer that we have these restrictions going on and the lockdown of the borders and everything else, as long as these communities are going to suffer. So a little, I don't think we really start getting the point of how it is that our very actions might have some ripple effects across to these other communities as well. It has a lot of impact. And when you're in those communities, like the man would have said, you're sitting there and you're waiting on a call, and the call can't come through because maybe the people try calling and it's going to voicemail or something because you're not getting any signals. It is a very frustrating thing. You seated, watching your family, and you can't do anything. You can't earn a living, and so it is frustrating for some people in certain parts of Guyana. So it is not an easy thing. And coming back to the police, I see people very critical of what's happening. Yes, I want to agree. The police needs to get their act together. They need to understand that they're the protectors of our society, and it's not just stopping a minibus on the road and seeing whether they have fitness in it. Your job is to ensure that there's law and order in every community. And if you pass in regulations, the COVID-19 regulations, you're putting it there in the official gazette and it becomes there. It has to be enforced, and you're not doing anything. It says a lot about you. And I think you guys need to start calling out the police. Say, look, you call the radio here, let us hear. The Grove police station there, it has sergeant so that's sitting there. And he's doing absolutely nothing. Let us shame them. We need to start doing that. You cannot allow the tail to wag the dog and you say nothing about it. You have the power, people. Let's start getting our acts together, pull this country back and decide that we don't want this thing to continue. We need to protect ourselves. So call in the line, Reg? Yes. Good afternoon, caller, you on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, sir, and welcome back.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Go ahead.
In relation with this COVID, I really scared, and I think the government should be taking some drastic action about these people who is not wearing the mask. Charge them, as one lady said, pick them up and pack them up in a truck and carry them away and charge them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because nobody is taking this thing serious. And another thing, the government has received so many donations and whatever to help fight this thing. And I was at the hospital on Thursday, and I saw the nurse there have some mask on the table. So I asked her, could you please give me a mask? She says, no, it's for the staff. When I spoke to the doctor said, can I have a mask that says he don't know how he could help me, who he got? Give me some fancy excuse, which I can't be annoyed with him because they're going on the instruction too.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying, the point is, what happened? All these thousands of masks for coming. The place should be flooded with masks.
Mm-hmm.
Even sanitizer. Look how the price of these things. You go to BPAT or any one of these stores to buy, you don't get Lysol, period. And some other spray they have beep. Look the price of these things. You want, even the hospital, I expect that when you go there, like every hour you have a nurse or somebody, just make a circle in the area where people dwell in. Mm-hmm. So that whatever germs flying around, it will help to contaminate with the spray or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I still feel something, even if they're locked down for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, have to do it. We got to do something. Something have to be done.
Yes, we cannot sit still. Some decisions have to be made. It's going to be tough decisions, but we have to do that. We've gone past the 1,000 mark, 1,000 cases, COVID-19 cases today as we speak.
Yeah, and another thing, when earlier was 2 months back, I think, when they had the lockdown, that is another scary thing. Even if you lock down, you want to lock down. Now, let's say you're at home, you can't go on the road, and if there's the emergency, you're sick, or someone taken to get baby or whatever, you cannot get a taxi to go on the road.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot reach the hospital. Even if you call for an ambulance, you can't get the ambulance to come. That's another scary thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're sick at home and if you lock down and you're sick at home, you can't get a vehicle to carry you down to town. Even if you get somebody to carry, the police is there to harass you. Not to take an explanation from you, but to harass you. So I don't know how could this government help the people? How? I can't see.
Well, let me answer it this way. Last week, I was a little scared and nervous, a big man like me. I went to the Horstellan Health Center, and I tell them that I believe that, I would have come in contact with somebody, and I need to test myself. They said come back the next day. 9 o'clock the next day, and they are very professional staffers and everything. They make sure that they kept you, seated away from everybody else. And it took like about 3 seconds. It's a little uncomfortable. If you are not as strong, maybe in your mind, that somebody is inserting something up your nostrils, it could become a nightmare for you. So you don't want to go through that. It's very, very simple what you got to do. You got to protect yourself.
Yeah.
You have to. It's
If you go to market, people, they got some plainclothes police and put them around the place. Everybody, you see, give them a ticket because the first thing people looking for bribe the police. Give them a ticket, let it go to the court, or you pick up everybody, carry them at the station, as long you're without a mask.
I think, let me tell you something. I think we need some education thing too. I was down at Rosal Market, right? And I was a little amazed. Everybody has on a mask, but it's how they were wearing it. Some people had it over the mouth. Some people
Well-
had it around the chin.
Well, that I don't consider wearing a mask.
No, you're not wearing a mask if you're doing that. So I'm looking there, and then there's a policeman. I think it's a policeman, a municipal police. He was going there, and so please put on your mask, but he's not paying attention to the others who are not wearing it properly.
Yeah.
So, these are things we need to start having an education system back again. I think there's so many things. I could tell you the Ministry of Health, we have a very serious situation. Those guys are overworked down there. We don't have enough resources. We're struggling. But I can understand you not having a resource and you're struggling. But on the other hand, the people are not adhering to what they're supposed to adhere,
Yeah,
so that
but
is
I
double
still-
jeopardy.
I still feel like Ministry of Health, like the public hospital, should be more, be more like if a person come in the hospital, all the people them at the gate, the nurse them at the gate, ask you, you're coughing, you have a fever, blah, blah, wash your hand and you go in.
I agree with
Now,
you.
they have nothing to give you. Well, look, we're sharing out some masks. Or look, we're sharing out some hand sanitizer. Because when you're in the bus, you can't wash your hand. Oh, and that's another thing. The bus stopped carrying two people in a seat. The bus always they're carrying you a pack load.
That is not supposed to happen. That's a no-no. If you know of any minibus, let me say this all.
Man, there are lots of minibus on the East Coast doing that.
If you guys know of any minibus that's doing that, start taking pictures and let's name and shame them. Let's start doing that. I know that you're scared of being targeted. Do it in a very, very thing way. Take the picture of the bus and let us get it on thing to say this is what this bus
But
is doing.
what about like an old fool like me who don't have a phone?
Somebody must gotta get it. They need the thing. I understand, but let us start doing it. I hear you. I hear you, sis.
Okay then.
Thank you very much, dear ma'am. And this is, I hear what the sister is saying there, and it is indeed true. Here's a message coming from one of the viewers, listeners, Mr. Ramsay Tivari. I've been owed by Caribbean Airlines for over $1,000 now, for months now. Whenever you call them, they tell you that they have a lot of backing up. You owe the credit card. Are you going to tell the bank that you're fed up, that you're backed up? Fed up calling them. Others in my family have already been paid. And these are many things that happens there. We need some more protection for our consumers because we have companies here who are doing the gods in them. And so let us go straight into some messages. I'm good afternoon. Concerning the reopening of the sugar estates, it will not happen overnight. I think the government should recultivate all the abandoned cane fields so they could have enough cane so the workers who are not working can get employment. And in the time after working on the closed estate, it will take time for the factories to fix, but sugar workers can earn while the factories are being fixed. And that is coming there from one of our viewers, one of our listeners. Let us see if there's some others here. This country needs lockdown because people are too hard to understand. People taking the sick for a joke. So Gildarie have a problem with NIS for underpayment for 5 years now. Every time I go, they keep telling me next month. I'm going to bring back the NIS lady here, and we're going to try to answer some questions there. We all the way, good afternoon. I'm really concerned about the public assistance of disabled people. Let me see. The disabled people, them are getting $9,000 can't maintain a person for a month. Please see what you guys can do for the disabled people, please, especially for my mom and dad. We are seeing let me see, for the mom and dad. We really seeing it hard, and I really wish you guys could do to help us with the house or house lot or financial assistance. This is something I'm not sure how Kaieteur News could do that, but we are going to try to raise these issues here with Central Housing and Planning Authority. We're all the way up the Linden Highway. When you guys come up on the side, my mother would really like to express her feelings to y'all too. Thank you very much there. And lots of people up there are suffering too. We've heard from Swan, among other places. So good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. This is a lesson that is keeping it in more. I think it should be closed. Please share some light. I'm not sure whether you're supposed to keep lessons where people gather. There's very strict rules if it's being done. It has to be in a very controlled environment. Um, Good afternoon. I'm a regular listener to your program. We really enjoy the program. You guys are doing a good job. Keep up. I need some help. Okay, and so we hear you there. Raj, let's go back to the lines. Good day. Good day, caller. You're on the air.
Good afternoon.
Good
How you doing,
afternoon.
man? Try to get you a couple of years now, boy.
I didn't get that.
I said a couple of years now, Mr. Carlos, and I get onto this now, but I get on and I get onto you today.
Thank
How
you
is
very
your host, man? I hear from your next friend. You get position, your portfolio? Or?
Oh, Yog?
Yeah.
I'm not aware. No, Yog is going to be back this evening. We have Nigel Damlal, Minister of Local Government. And so
Okay.
he's been doing this thing while I'm a little away. Yog is very...
It's a diamond here. I calling these people with this police station, all the head of the station, right? All these head of the station know what's going on with the police on the road. And they got somebody got to report to them every day. How come the commander of the station don't know nothing going on?
Uh-huh.
They never know nothing going on. All these people come in on the border. When these people come from the border, the police supposed to seize the people in vehicle and charge the driver.
No, you don't understand this thing here. If you're involved, you ain't going to do it.
Talking about the Latin people.
Yes, all over the place. What the stories that you're getting, everybody's involved.
No, we were saying the police know the police take pay from Latham to Georgetown.
Yeah, you got to know, man. You got to know you're the law keeper. You're supposed to know.
And the next thing, Sonam have in the border for Sonam have the same problem. The police they taking 100 years from each head, and people everybody know about it. I don't understand how the commissioner hear that yet.
So wait. Let me see if I get you right. So if you come across the border, when you land, you got to give the police 100 US.
100 US for each head at the crossing at Suriname for people to reach to Georgetown.
Well, that's a good investment. Instead of putting it into a Ponzi scheme, maybe you just get in there, right?
You know how it's going on. They said it's spending it sick for a lot of innocent people in the place because this police pull in their pocket and they're not concerned with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing, you want to bring a man so long, get in front of the court and put him on $100,000 bail? Me not understand this law in this country.
No, if I think I agree with you, and there's always been the issue.
And they get $100,000 bail, and a man thief for bicycle and get $500,000. They got paid for a bicycle. I don't understand this country. You hold a man and put him in front of the court, and then you $100,000 bail for what? $5 million bail for these people. Them.
Right. I hear you there.
100,000 can't do nothing. They can't feed one street in Diamond here by Russian. You can't support 15 houses in Diamond here.
Yep.
Put them, let them, you got to put them with the pressure, let them know what the other rest of them who got to face it, but know the consequences, they know how to speak out faster.
Thank you very much, dear sir. God bless.
Okay, buddy. Thank you. Glad to get on to you.
Thank you very much, dear. Thank you. So if you're now joining us, it is the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5. You can also get us on Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, on YouTube, Kaieteur Radio live stream. We're going to be back with you this evening at 7:30 p.m. sharp as Yog Mahadio, Dr. Yog Mahadio. We're going to come with you in room 592, and our guest is going to be no other than Nigel Damlal, Minister of Local Government, because there are many things that we got to talk about. Strengthening of the various NDCs, the RDCs, the municipalities, among other areas. How are they going to ensure that the benefits of the budget is going to pass down to these communities? It has been a problem that has been stalking the local government for years now, ensuring that the value for dollars that are being spent, most time you hear money being spent and you want to know, you look and you say, wow. Like we would have seen the collapse of that Kokodong and Diamond the other day, and that was a frightening scene with the rise, the rapid rise of the canal that drains that entire Diamond Grove area. And I can remember a couple of years, I think it's about 6 years, that Coca was built. It had some issues with it, and here it is now, it's collapsed again. So we need to get our act together and start paying attention to quality of work being done, infrastructure-wise and otherwise, that when we spending the money, that people are paying attention to what they're getting. So if somebody's repairing the road in front of you, pay attention, let us know, let them know that you're watching them, that you are taking pictures, and we need to name and shame these people whenever they give us a 6 for 9. And you hear me, a 6 for 9. That's what we're gonna do. Somebody all the way from New York, and they're saying, I cannot enter any train or bus without my mask. If a bus passes by and don't allow, they're not going to allow you to go in there without your mask. So we hear you there. It's something that we have to pay attention, that our people here has to insist that don't even come talk to me if you don't have on your mask. Can't enter the minibus without a mask. You got to wash your hands. Many places has become a way of life with persons now that you protect yourself. So let us continue to do that. And we are going to tell you here that at Kaieteur Radio, Kaieteur News, we have a number of cases now, positive cases, and we have taken restrictions. I'm here all alone trying to man this radio program with my good sidekick here, Raj, and he's at the controls here. And it is just a very stark reminder that this thing is here to stay, and I can only tell you, you guys, you need to be very careful. Please protect yourself. Do not do what we saw on video this morning in front of the court. Many people in a very irresponsible manner would have gathered there to lend support to Walla Lawrence, former health minister who's charged with fraud with regards to the elections, March 2nd elections. Why are you gathered there in such a large crowd when it's against the COVID-19 regulations? Why didn't the police act and make some arrests or something? I mean, you have to send the message very, very clear. We are serious. Why was the seawall so packed with persons yesterday? Was social distancing being upheld, the regulations? Also, while we're talking about the seawall, I saw some videos of headshots of some cleaning up at the seawall there, and how beautiful it looks. And these are things that make my heart go, yes, we have good people here. Let us continue to keep our surroundings clean. Let us continue to care for this beautiful land of ours. It's ours. Let us continue asking for a better oil deal, and in fact, deals for everything that is our oil resource. We must ensure that we get a very a good share of what belongs to us, our patrimony, our taxes, our share. It belongs to us. Let us be very, very serious. And so it isn't the government job alone. It is our job as stakeholders. We are living here in our home, and if you're renting your home, you have to ensure that you get rent, and a proper rent too. You're going to rent it for $2 when the expense is going to be $10. So let us be fair. Anybody who wants to come do business with us, put your deal on the table and let us know about it. We don't want anything behind our back. And so the Irfanali government has a lot of work to do to correct some of the nonsense of what we've been given. A 649. It's a caller line. Yes, good afternoon, caller. You're here.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon. You're on Kaieteur Radio.
Yeah, I want to get on to Gildarie.
Speaking. Yes, I'm listening to you, and you are on air.
Okay. Now, yeah.
Could you lower your volume on your radio, please?
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
That bar at West Coast where the people can get hold. Today they pay $16,250 fine, right?
That's each?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Now, you had some protesters there today. Did anyone get charged?
Well, that is the issue that we're talking about here. We have to be even-handed. You don't want.
Now, why Indian got to be victimized in this country?
Is it an Indian thing or there's a bar that's open that the police went down
I'm
to?
talking about the bar at West Coast. So I think that's 20 something or how much of them last week or some day.
I don't think it's an issue. I don't want to go down the road. That's an issue
We're
of
just talking here, right? Just to tell you, right? The person called me and tell them they went to court with who court justice and they pay $16,250. Now, you had a set of protesters today in front of the court that no one that arrested and be charged for COVID-19 or whatever, right? Why is it the Indian got to be targeted and not the Negro be targeted?
I don't want to believe that it's an Indian thing. I believe that people were in a bar and the people went there. But
Fine,
I hear
that's
your
true.
point. I
That's
think
true.
I would want to hear an argument that why would you go to a bar and raid the bar and then you have this caught on live camera, so many
Fine.
people gathered,
That's
and you
true.
did not arrest the people. I would want to go that way.
Right, that's true to your target, right? I agree with that 100%. They're not supposed to be there.
Right.
Because you had a COVID, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, you have today, which they're not supposed to be there too.
I fully agree with you on that, that they're
Right.
not supposed to be there,
Now,
and let us see what the authorities
I hear
do.
a nice joke say how Christopher Jones said, but he was arrested by warrant and this and that, right? We had this president now, Infan, Dr. Infan, president, right? He arrested 2 o'clock a man for body court. We had a man like Luncheon in a wheelchair. You arrested got it to cool. Why is it all it can raise up? You ought to raise one side up. So if he want to talk about Christopher Jones, you got to bring back that too. A man like Luncheon could arrest in wheelchair. You understand? I mean, come on. Let me get this thing clear up. Indian got to be charged, Negro got to be charged.
Yes, I hear you. Thank you very much for that, sir.
Okay.
God bless. So there you have it. I think the point that the caller is really trying to make is that there should be even-handedness in the way that the police, the authorities are doing the job. And these are conversations that we must have, that you can't just, for the sake of the photographs or so on. And I think the police, I think Commander Errol Watts should be commended that you walked into the place, and I laughed because the people were looking extremely stunned that, a policeman actually walked into here and says, nobody move, nobody gets up and nobody leave here. And I think they were extremely shocked that that actually happened. But this morning, people should be shocked also that so many people gathered in front of the courts. And we must take the point there. And I think there's somebody here from Canada, Indira. Indira saying in Canada you can't go into the grocery stores or any public places without a mask. We're obeying the rules, so the numbers are now rising. And so it's sending home, the message, let us do the right thing. Let us not do anything. We need this place to open. We need to make money. And if you don't want to do the correct thing, the longer this is going to take us, the longer a couple of people are the ones who's holding this entire nation at ransom. We need to do the correct thing. And we need to do it as early as possible. As we wind down on this program here, Wake Up Guyana on Kaieteur Radio. We're going to tell you that we're going to be back tomorrow, not at 1:30, but at 1 o'clock. We want to open the lines a little more for you guys. So we're going to be here at 1 o'clock sharp. I'm going to have to probably foot it out by myself until my colleagues are out of the restrictions that they have there. In the meantime, this evening at 7:30 p.m., room 592, Dr. Yog Mahadia and myself are going to be there. And the Minister of Local Government, Nigel Damlal, he is going to be with us, and we have many questions for him. Should be interesting, because if you're living in communities, you should be interested in what your NDC is doing, what your RDC is doing, what your town council is doing. We want to ensure that the monies that the government is allocating from the various sectors, that they are going to these communities and they are being spent and we get value for our dollars. We are interested in that. So let's go back to the lines again. Good day, caller, you on the air. Good day, caller, you on the air. I think we would have missed that. Hi, good afternoon. What's the curfew time for Region 6? As far as I am aware, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock to about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. I think 5 o'clock I got to check it back. But it's 9 in the evening. So that's what it is. What's the curfew? So let's go back again. There's a caller online. Good afternoon, caller. You're in room 59. Sorry.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Could you lower your volume of it on the radio, please?
Yeah, sure.
In the meantime, I got a little confused there. Room 592, I said that. I'm on the issue of medication. Go ahead, sir.
Region 4.
Yes.
They had more this COVID-19 people. And they are travel to Van Boris to talk to Boris all times. And I don't think that this is right. All region never get non-COVID-19. Now, again, 9 are special now in Region 6.
But in Region 6 here, were 5 of them, you know, 5 of the cases are Cubans who crossed the border and came here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
that is the madness.
Mm-hmm. Because this border places really got to be, the people got to really be, policemen got to do the work.
They have to. It's the gatekeepers are the ones who are messing up.
And they take it too much advice.
I don't know, man. But this thing here, when you look at it, there's only one conclusion that you can make somebody taking money.
Where one caller say that the half of Guyanese doesn't get charged on the COVID-19 restriction times. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
That is true because majority in Borby say, right, the Indian people get victimization.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because they go to the Indian people and do them things. But it's not fair to lock up the Indian people. You are my friend. Get a shop. You just open the door. You can wash. They open the door, let the machine going to the in the rum shop. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And they tell them lock up the man.
Mm-hmm.
One door open on the man premises. Nobody inside the place. I'm going to lock up the man charging man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that we are the Indian peoples, I guess, at 5 years there, right? You get a bar there. From now, wholly the bar open.
Yeah, and it is. Let me tell you something. It's not one place alone. It's right across this country. You see that happening.
Half of Guyanese sit bar open till next morning, and then that Indian people has to do it because it is seriously all of us.
And let me tell you this: while you believe that the bar is closed, the session going on in the back, people slipping through the side gates.
I know that.
Oh man, but you see how irresponsible we are, right?
Yeah, that's true. But we guys got to take a really thing because if the health minister say they got to wear a mask, they got to wear a mask.
Right.
We see you on last Wednesday we was all right.
Pardon?
Last Wednesday been at the market there.
Yes.
I see you, but I recognize you, man.
No, I was on the cover. I didn't really want to talk to anybody.
Yeah, I know.
All right, thank you very much, sir. God bless you.
We'll come back to my like the program, bye.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
So I want to say thank you very much as we come to program time here on Wake Up Guyana on Kaieteur Radio. I want to say it's been a pleasure. It's a pleasure being back with you guys. I'm feeling a little weird out. I'm not feeling so good either. I think I'm overhang from having a couple days. I took 3 days because I was back on Thursday and Friday, but there was so much work we had to catch up on. I said, let's start fresh this week. Bam, 2 staffers we heard were tested positive, so we've taken some precaution. We'd have to continue doing what we have here, yourself and myself alone. But it's always a pleasure. We're not alone when we're together because you guys have been so interactive and so warm with the good folks on at Kaieteur Radio here, and we do appreciate that. And as we continue to build on this program, to take it to the next level, we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear what you think about the government. We want to hear some of the recommendations, and we're going to talk so many other issues. It's your voice, Wake Up Guyana. We want to wake you up to understand that you have the power, that you have the rights, and you have the obligation also to improve things for our people across this beautiful land of ours. And a good day to the good folks there down, especially at Blackbush Boulder there. Hope that you guys take care and be safe. And of course, that doesn't mean that I don't love my people down at Essequibo, on the Essequibo coastlands. Pomeroon, you guys take care. Make sure that you are doing the correct thing when it comes to using your boats along the Pomeroon River. And if you're listening to us, we understand even on the ocean itself, in the boats, the people are listening to us there. A good day to you guys. And so take care. Make sure that you wear your mask. Make sure that you don't do anything that if you're going to the supermarkets, wear your mask. If you're getting out there to work, if you're sitting in the minibus, make sure that you do the correct thing and hope that others do the correct thing as well. And a good day to the opposition leaders. A good day to our government, our good president, Dr. Irfan Ali. Sir, we're looking forward for you to ensure that you lead our country and get us out of this. We pray for that. And we are going to be back with you tomorrow, 1 o'clock on Wake Up Guyana. And of course, room 592 this evening, Dr. Yog Mahadi and myself, and the Minister of Local Government, Nigel Damlal. In the meantime, thank you very much and have a pleasant rest of the day. Thank you for joining us and be safe until.
COVID-19 tips sponsored by Dex Soap. 1. Practice social distancing. 2. Wear your mask when leaving the house. 3. Wash your hands regularly for 20 seconds using our Dex Soap. 4. Cover your nose and mouth with a disposable tissue or flex elbow when you cough or sneeze. Choose Dex Soap for that extra cleanliness. Dex Soap is affordable and available nationwide.
Kaieteur Radio.
Covering Guyana from coast to coast.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.